How's it going, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the FixDry NT1. This is a filament dryer, and if you're not familiar with filament dryers, you should be. When it comes to different types of filaments, especially PETG, ABS, or anything that absorbs a lot of moisture, you need to make sure that your filament is dry when you're printing it in order to get the best quality possible when you are printing. I've been using filament dryers since day one just because I live in a very humid environment and my office tends to be a lot higher humidity than even the outdoors. And so I've tried a few myself, whether it be the Sunlu S2 Fila dryer or the Ebos or Ibos filament dryer here. Some of them have their ups and downs, and some of them dry better than other ones. But today we're going to be trying the FixDry NT1 to see how it stacks up. So let me go ahead and get this unboxed and we'll see how it looks. So just a disclaimer before we get into it, I did want to let you guys know that FixDry did send this to me for review, but they are not compensating me and they're actually not even seeing this video before you see it. So I am being as unbiased as I possibly can, but please keep in mind that I did not pay for this. They did send this to me to check out. So I can tell you just off the one little thing that I unboxed here, I like the build of how this is done compared to the other ones that I own. So we've got it unboxed here. I like the way this is built already. It looks like you've got some grommets here for letting the filament come out the top. So you can actually use this while you're printing, which is nice. There's some filament dryers out there that are solely meant to dry the filament before use. This looks like something you could keep in it. So the vent here at the bottom looks like where the majority of the heat, honestly, I don't even think, yeah, there's no side heaters because this is where all your heat is going to come from, which is my assumption on why this exists, so you can dissipate the heat on both sides. So we'll go ahead and place that on there. I don't really think I need the instructions because they did such a good job of packaging this that I understand how to use it. We'll see if that's the case in here in a minute. Take off the nice little plastic here and let's see if we can get something drying. So the plastic's having a hard time fitting on here. There we go. It's a snug fit, which probably is good, so you know it's sealed. So this is what it's going to look like whenever you're ready to start drying filament with it. I will say, compared to size, like this is fairly large compared to the other filament dryers I have. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing though. Let's just take a roll of filament and see what it looks like on here. I wish there was like a handle or something I could pull this off with, because this is a little weird how you have to pull that off with it, especially with it being so snug. So it looks like you could fit two, yeah. You could totally fit 2 rolls of filament on here. That is awesome. So this is actually the first dual filament spool dryer that I've used. So this is awesome. So you could print with 2 different filaments at one time here. I love this. So I have some Bamboo Lab PLA Basic that I need to get to drying. PLA you don't really necessarily have to worry about as much, just because even though it does absorb moisture, it's not quite as bad as PETG or some of the other filaments, but it's still always good to dry your filament directly from the factory because you can't always be sure that it was dried properly whenever it was actually spooled up. So I always like to take the extra step, and anytime I get a new roll, dry the filament. So take my Jerry Rig Everything knife here and cut into this. Yes, that was a plug for Jerry Rig Everything. Love that guy. You should watch him if you haven't. By the way, Bamboo Lab has recently switched to these like all white filament spools, and I just feel like this looks so clean. So we'll pop this into here. You know, one interesting thing is I don't see a place to put desiccant in this filament dryer, which maybe it doesn't need, but still, that would be nice to have a place. So I've got it in here ready to start drying, so we're gonna just pop this back on. Make sure this is good and snug. Putting this on is a little different than I'm used to. It's a snug fit, which is good, but it is a little funky to put on. The easiest way to put this on, from what I can tell, let me pop this off again, I'll show you. For anyone that is interested in making this as easy as possible, align it in the back here, and then kind of just rock it on. And that seems to give it a good little snug connection. So I'm gonna pop off the action camera here so you guys can see. So I literally hit the power button here and this is what comes up. Looks like we can adjust the temperature. It tells this is a hygrometer telling you what it's currently, the humidity's at inside the box. And I'm guessing this is how long. Let me read up on that to make sure though. So these are your recommended temperature settings that we should be looking into. So for PLA, looks like we want to be at 50 degrees Celsius. So let me go ahead and put that on, and we want to dry for greater than or equal to 4 hours. So we're going to click this. So we've got it on here, and we want this to be at 50 degrees Celsius. And dry time, let's move this down to 4 hours. So we've already started a decrease in the humidity rating here. We could print directly out of this box if we wanted to, which is nice. So yeah, being able to dry 2 spools of filament at once is pretty awesome. I definitely like the way that they have the grommets here on top so you can run multiple types of filament out of here. Also, you have the little vent box, so the moisture does have a place to escape, which I like. It's a really sleek design too. I like the way that this is built. I think the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head that I would definitely change about this would be add like maybe a handle, which is something you could add or 3D print, and you could drill into this if you wanted to. It's just like an acrylic type material. But yeah, to remove this, it's a little weird. Like if I wanted to remove this, I'm gonna have to like pick this up like directly, and you can see like it's kind of like I'm lifting this off the ground right now. You're gonna have to be, it's a little snug, so you're gonna have to be kind of forceful with removing the top. That being said, it means that it has a good seal. And like I said, when you're ready to place the top back on, align it in the back and kind of put it in and then press it down, and then you're gonna get a good seal. So you can already see that the time is ticking down here, which means that I can literally just go off and leave this and let it dry. So I'm gonna let this continue to dry for a little while and we'll see how it ends up. All right guys, so it has been officially an hour and a half. We are down to 2 hours, 30 minutes left. I did do a couple things differently with this than I was anticipating. One thing is it gets really warm, which is awesome. That means you know that it's going to be drying very well. You can see here that I'm already at 20% hygrometer rating. That's pretty good. And we've got an exhaust here on the bottom. I'm just feeling now for the first time. This is great. The only thing to think about if you are using this for stationary drying versus active printing is all the heat is coming up from the bottom here. So it's really like this bottom half is getting really, really dry while the top is still getting dry, but there is no active heating here on top. So one thing that I have been doing is pulling this off here. So let me pull off the top again. So I'm gonna pop off the top here. And one thing that I am doing differently is I'm kind of turning this every once in a while and putting the top back on. So what that's allowing this to do is dry the bottom as well as drying the top of the filament. This may be a non-issue, but it is something that I wanted to call out. But yeah, I think that this is a sleek design. It's a good little dryer, and I'm going to continue to use it. If you guys want to pick up the NT1 yourself, I've got some links down in the description below. And I've been told that there is a discount code for anything on FixDry's website, which is Shayway10. If you put that in, you will get 10% off your entire purchase. Thanks so much to FixDry for sending this out for me to check out. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.